Dang, I actually thought this was going to be my least favorite MCU live-action Disney Plus TV series, and now I guess 𝐿 and the Winter Soldier has the honor of that position. If you haven't seen, you probably have because Disney has been super aggressive about advertising this show. The first 2 episodes of Hawkeye are now out on Disney Plus, and I think it was a really good idea for them to release 2 episodes because the first episode was good, but I feel like with the second episode, it took it up a level to great. So 2 episodes right now on Disney Plus. If you're one of those people that don't want to pay for it, if you have certain companies that you get services from, you can get a year free, like Verizon and stuff like that. So Google it and check just in case you're one of those people that don't want to support the mouse. But yeah, I really, really like this show so far with only 2 episodes. And it's funny because Hawkeye is the least favorite Avenger for most people and also the most memed on. And if you like Hawkeye and he's your favorite Avenger, that's totally cool. Some people like crunchy peanut butter as well. There's just evil in this world. I honestly think Hawkeye works a lot better as a street level sort of hero and getting stories about him on the street level. I'm not saying that the whole world-ending stuff isn't great and he can't hold his own, although maybe I would argue that a little bit. But I think with this TV series, with being a street level story, works a lot better for him. I mean, honestly, who knew that the storyline of, oh, I'm Hawkeye, I'm trying to get back to my family in time for Christmas, but oh no, there's this woman who got into some shenanigans and now I have to help her, could be this entertaining. Because I'm one of those people that just do not believe the line, especially by Clint's wife, who said, oh, that's why they need you on the team, because you're the most human. It's like, yeah, no, I don't really see that, because Disney/MCU did Hawkeye really dirty. If you read the comics, a lot better. They depowered him quite a bit. So the MCU Hawkeye, oh, that's why the Avengers need you, because you're just a human, you're not a god or a super soldier. No. So in this series, Hawkeye definitely shines a lot more. I think another problem I have is Jeremy Renner. I know he plays a hero and an action star in a lot of movies. I just don't believe him as one. Every movie I see him in where he plays the hero or the badass action star, I'm just like, alright. But in this TV series, I believe it. Kate Bishop as well, I don't think they could have cast a better actress, and the both of them have a lot of chemistry. So I would say, before I get into spoilers, if you haven't seen this series and you're like, oh, Hawkeye, okay, least favorite Avenger, don't really care, dude that's really good at shooting arrows, watch it. Super, super good. I really, really liked it. I actually have a reason to be conscious on Wednesdays now, so yeah. Okay, now I'm getting into spoilers, so if you haven't watched the first 2 episodes, go watch them. Go do something fun, and then come back here and tell me in the comment section down below if you like them or not. First, I want to start with, before I even got a chance to watch these episodes, on my homepage, I kept seeing articles like, oh, you won't believe this scene that changes everything about the Avengers event, and other headlines of, this one scene in Hawkeye changes forever how you will view this event in the Avengers movie. And I thought, okay, this is probably clickbait, but I didn't want to click on it because I wanted to watch the 2 episodes and see if I could guess what they were talking about. And what they were talking about was the beginning with Kate and her family, and the whole Loki attacking with the aliens, and the Avengers trying to stop them, and all the destruction, and she ends up losing her dad. And I get it. So what those articles are trying to say is, oh, we saw it from the civilians' point of view of all this devastation, but we know about the devastation. We've seen that before. In fact, there's an entire MCU movie about the damage the heroes cause while trying to stop the bad guys. You know, like Civil War and a few others. So it really doesn't change how I view this event based on that scene. I mean, it's nice to see more of civilians, innocent people, how they're affected by heroes trying to stop the bad guys, but it doesn't change how I view that event in Avengers, I guess. Maybe it does for you. If it does, let me know. If before you were like, oh, this is awesome, I'm just watching the Avengers stop Loki and his alien invasion, And then you watch this and you're like, oh, all those buildings being damaged and those people screaming and running and explosions actually killed some people? And I'm not making fun of you. I love your innocence. Honestly, I do. I wish I could have it, but I'm an elderly woman. I've seen too much. I really like Kate. I'm glad they made her be 22 instead of dealing with a teenager story. Although I will say, even though usually when teens are the main character of a show, it's just all about drama and being rebellious and, oh my god, life's so terrible. They've done a really good job with teenagers in the MCU, like Peter Parker. I think they've done a great job with that. But the fact that she's 22 and we don't have to deal with all that stuff is great. Although she is still a little bit immature, as we see with her dealing with her future stepfather, which I don't like, and I'm really hoping we don't have to deal with that the entirety of this season, because I don't know. The whole angsty, rebellious, snippy thing, I'm over. It does make sense, though, that she is a bit immature. She comes from a super wealthy family, which is very evident when we see in the beginning. She does all these activities, all these sports to become a badass, because you have to have quite a bit of money to put your kid in that many different activities, to afford just the equipment and the time. If you go to tournaments, anyone who's had a martial arts, you know with just one martial arts, if you're going up the ranks and going to tournaments and getting all the weapons and uniforms and stuff and belts, it's a lot of money. So the fact that she could do all these different sports and activities and become a BAMF through them, yeah. Super wealthy, spoiled person. And her mom even said that. 1, you're young, 2, you're wealthy, and those people tend to not understand. You're not invincible. Bad things can happen to you. But speaking of that, doing all the different activities and sports, I think using the animation in the beginning to show her training and becoming better and better was way, way, way better than anything else they could have done live action. You got the point across in a fun way. She keeps doing all these different sports. She is perfecting herself. She's going up, getting better and better from, no place to third to second to first. And we didn't have to drag on with a live action showing of it. So that was incredibly clever and fun to watch. At the same time, though, we didn't make her completely invincible. She still got her ass handed to her quite a bit. In fact, Clint had to rescue her. So I like that we show, okay, she worked really, really hard, but at the same time, she's still gonna get her butt kicked by, ordinary thugs. Which, actually, speaking of that, the fight scenes, so good. I'm usually one that likes more heroes with powers, so when it's just guns and shooting arrows is kind of, to me. But the fight scenes, incredibly well done. I enjoyed them all. I didn't feel like, oh, my eyes are glazing over now, because this is just too stupid, too much, not interesting. They were all fun. I cannot wait for Trick Arrows. I've waited so long to see more live action Trick Arrows. I guess we saw a little bit in Green Arrow with the CW, but I try not to think about the CW because their show's turned into a nightmare. Except for Legends of Tomorrow. Really good series. But I'm so excited to see Trick Arrows. It's gonna be so much fun. I'm gonna lose my mind, probably just talk way too long in the episode review where we get them. I'm not too thrilled about the evil stepdad plotline. I guess I'm over it. Also, I don't know if you've ever heard this, unwanted redheaded stepchild, or I'm gonna beat you like an unwanted redheaded stepchild. Heard that a lot growing up. So maybe I just don't like the whole evil stepdad thing. It just hits an emotional chord with me. But I'm hoping that they reveal early on what's going on with him, and we don't have to just drag on the snippiness and whatever. Although, total dick move when he was letting her win. Which, is a normal thing when you're trying to make a kid feel good, especially when you're trying to be a parental figure. Like, oh, you're so good, you beat me. Because you want them to think that they are better than what they are, so that when they try to overthrow you, you have something to fuck up their plans. But he was doing it because he knew it was going to hit a nerve with her, and over again, just being like, oh, you won, and Kate just getting more pissier and pissier was great. And with the Christmas theme around this, I'm kind of glad they did it now. It's getting me more in the mood, more in the spirit for Christmas than I feel like I've been in for quite a few years. I think we all kind of needed this, just a street level Christmas time story with heroes. Feel good, instead of all that nihilistic shit that we've been having to deal with that I'm just so tired of. I can't wait until we're done with the nihilist phase, which we all go in these cycles of what's in right now and how everybody reacts to things, and I'm so over the nihilist phase. I'm ready for us to go into the next phase of how we all act. So yeah, I liked it. I give it like a 6, 7 out of 10. I'm definitely gonna watch every Wednesday. I'm going to try to get out these reviews as soon as I can, but that doesn't always work. So like, subscribe, let me know what you thought about this episode, well, the first 2 episodes, and if you're gonna keep watching, and so far how you'd rank it with the other MCU, Disney Plus, live action TV shows that have been released.